welcome to Oxford, Ohio. It's the final homestand of the season for the Miami RedHawks. Hi, I'm Reed Mouse. You're watching Love and Honor Live here on Chatterbox Sports. Bree Pratt getting ready to take the circle for the RedHawks against the Central Michigan Chippewas. A game that could decide who will host the MAC tournament. Let's go ahead and take you through the starting lineups for the visiting Chippewas. Batting leadoff and in center field will be Abby Thom. McKaylee Valamont will be in right field. She's batting second. Kelsey Alexander out in left. She's in the 3-hole. Alyssa Holo will be in the cleanup spot. She's the designated player. Skylar Coberly will be second baseman. She's batting fifth. Samantha Mills behind the dish. She's batting sixth. Emily Bracamonte will be at the hot corner. She's batting seventh. Maddie Springer, the shortstop. And then we got Lucy Cronin, the first baseman, anchoring the lineup. Bree Pratt, as we mentioned, in the circle. This is senior day for the RedHawks, so she was honored beforehand. You see her stats right in front of her. A 3.14 ERA, a 22-10 win-loss record. She's got 163 strikeouts and 55 walks. So as Thom steps into the batter's box, left-handed swinger, we are ready to go here in Oxford. Pratt gets the sign from Coyne. Here we go. A base knock into right field, and Thom has the Chippewas threatening here in the top of the first inning. First pitch was at 1:05. A little delayed because of the senior day ceremonies. Doubleheader today, and we mentioned this game has major implications for who gets to host the MAC tournament. Central Michigan coming in at 27-19, 17-6 in the MAC. They've got a one-game lead on both Ohio University and Miami. Miami coming in at 29-17, 16-7 in the conference as McKaylee Valamont steps in. Foul tip will be the first strike. Valamont, a .396 hitter. She has sacrificed herself 4 times this season. She leads the team in hitting. 53 hits, 28 RBIs. Thom over there at first base. That was her 64th hit of the season. She's now got her batting average over .390. She's 3 for 5 on stolen base attempts, so don't anticipate seeing her going. So once again, Valamont offers, but it's a called strike as she pulls it back. Decent crowd here. 63 degrees here at the start of this one. Little bit of wind, though the flag is not blowing out in center field. In pregame, it was blowing out the dead center, but just barely. Hit out to Allie Cummins in right field. It's over her head as it rattles up against the wall. Extra bases for the Chippewas. Valamont into second, Thom into third, and Central Michigan threatening the RedHawks here in the top of the first. As there's going to be a talk out in the circle, let's go ahead and take you through the defensive alignment for Miami. Out in the outfield, from left to right, Maddie Banks, Jenna Golombesky, and Cummins will be out and right. From third and short, it's Carly Spade and Adriana Barlow. Chloe Parks will be the second baseman. Holly Blaska at first. Riley Coyne behind the dish. She's working in unison with Bree Pratt. So Kelsey Alexander steps in. 31 RBI. She leads the team. She has left the yard 9 times this season. Early in the year when Miami was struggling in conference play, it was the first inning that oftentimes proved to be the deciding factor, and right here and now, the Chippewas, who are on an 11-game winning streak, just one swing away from putting runs on the board. Umpires today, Antonio Flores is behind Thom plate. Brian Hardaburda will be the first base umpire, and Guy Morrow down the third base line. Alexander fouls one, and out of play as it goes into the Chippewas bullpen. Miami in the all-whites today. Chippewas, white bottoms, and the maroon and gold tops. 0-1's the count to Alexander. 352 hitter. Slugging at .628. She has 20 extra base hits this season. 1-1 the count, and Pratt, who has 163 strikeouts on the season, could use one in a big way here. Alexander fouls one weakly over toward the third base dugout. One to the count to the senior from Central Michigan. Chops one off her front foot. Alexander on her third season starting for the Chippewas. She has been a big bat in the middle of this lineup. The 1-2. Taken for a called ball, and the count is evened up. Carly Spade, Holly Blaska in on the corners. Adriana Barlow shifted a step over towards the third base line. Chloe Parks doing the same over towards the first base. Bounced in front of the plate. The count is now full. Pratt tried to get Alexander to chase, but she didn't offer. Sudden trying to peek through the clouds here in Oxford. Bright Saturday afternoon. The payoff pitch to Alexander as Pratt rocks and deals. Weakly line to center field. This one will squirt through. One run will score. A second. Central Michigan on top. 2-0 on the single from Alexander. Thom ripped one into right field. Valama almost left the yard, but it was Kelsey Alexander who weakly squirted one through the infield for 2 runs. And Central Michigan's on top. As Holo steps up to the plate, lays one on the ground. Carly Spade will go out to second base, getting the lead runner. Nice play by the All-American. 5-6 put out. And a fielder's choice. We'll have Holo on first.
The second baseman, number 4, Skylar Coberly.
And Coberly at the plate. Coberly, a .248 hitter. Stands at the front of the right-handed batter's box. Rock and deal. Coberly ahead in the count, 2-0. Last time these two teams met was last May here in Oxford. Check swing. No, she did not come around, so the count is 3-0. Miami won that game 2-1. Holly Blaska, RBIs. It was an extra inning affair, and Blaska walked it off. Bree Pratt pitched in that game, and already the Chippewas have fared better. So 4-pitch walk will put runners on first and second, and we'll see Samantha Mills.
Chippewa catcher, number 3, Samantha Mills.
Mills, a .289 hitter. Only 3 bats in Central Michigan's lineup, rather. Hitting above 300. Chopped out to Chloe Parks, only plays at first base. And that's where she goes. She had to take 1 step to her left, which kind of prevented the double play from happening. Instead, she gets the sure thing. And there's 2 away and runners on second and third for Emily Bracamonte.
The third baseman, number 22, Emily Bracamonte.
Called ball on the outside. Bracamonte at 225 hitter. She's got only 8 RBIs on the season. She would love to get number 9 and number 10 with a base knock here. Called strike, evens up the count at 1-1. Field playing straight up. Now the wind blowing. Blowing to straightaway center field. Pratt gets the sign from Coyne. She deals. Chopped over towards Carly Spade. Doesn't have the force out at third. She has to throw it across the diamond. She does for the third and final outs. But Central Michigan takes a 2-0 lead thanks to the base knock from Kelsey Alexander. We head to the bottom of the first here on Love and Honor Live. Welcome back to Miami Softball Stadium. I'm Ray Mouse. You're watching Love and Honor Live here on Chatterbox Sports. Let's go ahead and take you through the Miami RedHawks starting lineup. Leading off and playing right field will be Allie Cummins. Holly Blaska will be batting behind her. She's playing first. Carly Spade, the third baseman, batting in the 3-hole. Riley Coyne, the catcher, cleaning up today. She had a senior day. Jenna Golombeski batting in the 5-hole. She's playing center field. Chloe Parks playing second. Kate Kobayashi's the designated player. Adriana Barlow also had senior day today. Shortstop batting in the 8-hole. And then Maddie Banks will be anchoring the lineup. Grace Lato will be in the circle for Central Michigan. A 3.53 ERA, 13-10 record, 160 strikeouts, 37 walks. And a called strike to Allie Cummins. A little bit of zip on that fastball from Lato. The exact same pitching matchup that was in the MAC tournament a season ago, and we talked about that. Miami walking off on a 2-1 victory. Lato gets a swing from Allie Cummins. Fouls it back. Cummins, a graduate student, but will be coming back next year. Cummins batting .328 on the season, 16 home runs. She gets on base nearly half the time. A .497 on-base percentage, leading the team with 42 walks, but she won't see that a whole lot as Lato has only had 37 walks this season and over 150 innings. So the 1-2 to the graduate student from Westchester, Ohio. Lato gets a swing and strikeouts. And we'll see Holly Blaska. And boy, has Holly Blaska turned it on as of late. The senior from Minnesota. Batting over 300 on the season. 315, 7 home runs. 19 extra base hits. She's slugging .589. She did have an 0 for 10 in that 3-game series against Ball State in the midweek. Miami took the first 2 games before getting run-rolled in Game 3. Blaska takes the first pitch from Lato. It's 1-0. Lato looking over towards the visitors' dugout to get the sign. And the left-handed swinging Blaska takes another. She's ahead in the count. The comebacker makes it 2-1. Field playing straight up against Holly Blaska. We'll take you through the defensive alignment after she hits. Lato gets a swinging foul. Count it 2-2. Karen Kumar down the third baseline. Peering in as Holly Blaska awaits the 2-2. Lato bounces, rocks, deals. Blaska flares one over in the 6-hole, but Springer's right there. Let's go ahead and take you through the Chippewas. Defensive alignment. Out in the outfield will be Alexander Thom and Valamont. They are at the top of that lineup that we talked about. Bracamonte, Springer patrolling the left side of the infield. Cobberly and Cronin on the right side. Mills in the battery with Lato. So now we'll see Carly Spade. 2 away, nobody on. And Spade, whose name's out on the right field wall for her All-American status just a season ago, swings at the first pitch from Lato. Tied with Cummins for the lead in home runs, 16 this season. Spade with 53 hits. That does lead the team. Tough play out there for the Chippewas, but they're able to make the throw over to first for the third and final out. A 1-2-3 bottom half of the first for Central Michigan. We head to the second. Miami trailing 2-0.
You know that Pepsi is refreshing, but did
watching Love It On Her Live here on Chatterbox Sports. 2 up for Central Michigan. Maddie Springer, Lucy Cronin, and back to the top of the order, and Abby Thome. Central Michigan plated 2 runs on 3 hits in the top half of the first inning. They got a 1-2-3 bottom half, so they're cruising to the first opening frame of this 3-game series. Doubleheader here on Saturday. Game 3 will be tomorrow. I'll take you through the 2 games today. Luke West Poley will be on the broadcast tomorrow. So Maddie Springer steps in. Springer on the season, a .215 hitter. Offers at the first pitch she sees. Carly Spade has it after the first stop. Throws it over to first for the first out. 5-3 put out, and the second inning begins. How the first inning ended. So Lucy Cronin steps in, a .240 hitter. 24 hits and exactly 100 at-bats this year. Cronin stands tall in the plate. Takes the first pitch for a called strike. Antonio Flores, not the first time he has called balls and strikes here at Miami Softball Stadium this season. Pratt gets the sign. Here's the 0-1. Back-to-back strikes has Pratt ahead in the count. The 0-2. Working on the outside. We mentioned Central Michigan, a game ahead of Miami and Ohio in the conference standings. 17-6, while Miami and Ohio 16-7. Ball State not too far behind. Akron and Northern Illinois, all with over 500 records in the Mid-American Conference. As Pratt misses on the inside. Two to Cronin. Chopped over towards Carly Spade, working over her left. Smooth play by the junior. Got it off the second bounce, worked quickly. Sharp glove over there. It's tough to get it through the left side of Miami's infield between Dre Barlow and Carly Spade. And there's two away. Bree Pratt now has retired 4 consecutive batters, all on ground balls. After giving up 3 hits to begin the game, she's been very sharp ever since. Now she's looking for a 1-2-3. Speaking of beginning the game, Abby Thom ripped the first pitch she saw for a base hit to right field. She came around and scored on the single from Kelsey Alexander. 1-0's the count to the starting center fielder. Popped up in the infield. Dre Barlow's underneath it, and she'll put the squeeze on for the third and final out. So 1-2-3, top half of the second, as Miami will look to get the sticks out here on Love and Honor Live. Riley Kornchenik, Lembeski, Chloe Parks due up. It's Grace Lato. Toes the circle once again. Coyne, the cleanup hitter today, starting catcher. Stands tall in the right-handed batter's box as usual and offers at the first pitch, which is high and outside of the zone. Coyne, a free swinger. A lot of pop in the bat, but does often chase out of the zone. The graduate student from Chelsea, Alabama, falls behind 0-2 after eliciting 2 swings. Lato put Allie Cummins down on strikes to begin the first. Would like to do the same here in the second. Coyne awaits. Lato bounces and misses. Up and away, way out of the zone. Lato, a junior from Eaton Rapids, Michigan, has gone the distance in 6 of her last 7 outings. Check swing, they look down the first base line. No, they don't. As the count is evened up at 2s. Lato, the sign, the rock, and the deal, and blows a fastball by Coyne.
RedHawks center fielder number 2, Jenna Golombeski.
So Jenna Golombeski steps in, and I was mistaken as it wasn't 6 of 7. It was 7 consecutive games that Lato has gone the distance. Bree Pratt, similar, does the same for Miami. As the sophomore from Woodstock, Illinois steps in. Golombeski, third on the team in home runs. Really name for herself in this Miami lineup. 13 big flies. And just 34 starts. The 1-0 from Lato to Golombeski. Swing, fouls it straight back. Do it here at 1-1. Golombeski had 2 hits in the 3-game series against Ball State. 2 for 9, including a home run. Chopped foul. The 1-2. Missed on the inside, even up the count. Lato right around the zone. Not getting the calls to her favor to this point. But that's her MO. Doesn't walk a whole lot of batters, consistently challenging the hitters. And she's got the stuff to put you away. Golombeski, the 2-2. Pops one foul, will do it again. You'd have to go all the way back to early April for the last time that Central Michigan has lost. They lost the first game against Toledo on April 11th. Since then have won 11 straight ball games. 2-2. Taken on the outside, the count is run full. The payoff. Fouled straight back. Golombeski working a nice at-bat. Making Lato throw a lot of pitches after a breezy first inning. Doing it again here at 3-2. Taking in the dirt. That's ball 4. Golombeski didn't even know she was awarded first. Didn't think she'd get that far. So now we'll see Chloe Parks step up. And that's the first base runner of the game for Miami.
Chloe Parks.
Parks steps in. Left-handed hitter. Takes the first pitch for a called strike. Parks batting .295 on the season. Sophomore from Indianapolis. Went 1 for 6 in the 3-game series against Ball State. Fouls one down the left field line. Hit it well. Parks, not a whole lot of power in the bat. Out of all the everyday starters, she only beats out Maddie Banks in slugging percentage, slugging .411 on the year. Parks chokes up, down in an 0-2 well. Taken for a called strike 3. So 2 away, and we'll see Kate Kobayashi.
Designated player, number 22, Kate Kobayashi.
Kobayashi, second on the team in on-base percentage. Get on base 48% of the time, .479 on-base percentage. 27 walks, second on the team. Kobayashi weakly hits one out of Lato, and that'll end the bottom half of the second. So though she surrendered a walk to Jenna Golumbesky, made quick work of the other 3 hitters, we head to the 3rd inning, still 2-0. Two, three, 4, 2 up for the Chippewas. They have a 2-0 lead. Hi, I'm Reebounce. You're watching Love and Honor Live here on Chatterbox Sports. If you haven't already, subscribe, like the stream, hit the notification bell, let you know when we go live. This will be the only stream today. We'll also be live on the second game of the doubleheader. We'll be back tomorrow. A few more games here for the spring season. We'll be back next week for the 3-game series over on the baseball diamond. And then we'll exit stage rights. Valamont, a double in her first at-bat, out to right field. Allie Cummins now playing closer to the warning track. She took a step in before getting beat over top of her head. Valamont waves at the 1-0. Comes up empty. Valamont can't catch up to that heat from Bree Pratt. Count is 1-2. Pratt looking to retire Valamont here in the 3rd inning. Valamont, of course, came around and scored on the single from Alexander back in that first. And that's how we have the 2-0 ball game that we currently sit with. Other than that, both Pratt and Lato have been very sharp in the circle. Mentioned it earlier, and it's reminiscent of that tournament game a season ago. One in which the RedHawks won 2-1. Right high. Central Michigan actually beat Miami in a 3-game series last year up in Mount Pleasant, Michigan. Before that series, it was 6 consecutive wins for the RedHawks. And a swinging strikeout will retire Valamont and bring up Kelsey Alexander.
Number 6, left fielder Kelsey Alexander.
First strikeout of the ball game for Bree Pratt. She's had the ground ball pitch working. But that time, able to retire Valamont. So we'll see Kelsey Alexander with the infield plane in. She was able to just barely squeak one through the center part of the field. It rode in on the hands, and she was able to power it into center field. Alexander shows the barrel of the bat before Pratt rocks and deals. Taken for a ball, and Alexander's ahead in the count. The 2-0. Called strike. Not as much pop in the lineup for the Chippewas as comparatively speaking to the RedHawks. Maybe that's an unfair comparison. Central Michigan with 23 home runs this season, 9 coming off the bat of Alexander. That's compared to Miami's 75 home runs. Over 3 times the amount of their opponent. The 3-1. Weekly hit over to Holly Blaska. She dives and hits off the end of her glove. Chloe Parks comes up and tries to get it over to Blaska, but she can't get back to first in time. So Alexander will be on first base. Tough play for Blaska. Playing in line with the bag. She dove to her right. Just couldn't field it cleanly. So Alyssa Holo steps in. Open stance in the right-handed batter's box. Sits even with the plate in the box. And she takes the first one for a called ball. Carly Spade close up to the third base line. You can hear Central Michigan's dugout get into the game. A lot of energy back in that first inning from the Chippewas. Persist throughout the game to this point, as this is Weekly grounded up the middle. It hits off the second base bag and goes into center field. It looked as though for a second that might have bounced off the bag and up into Dre Barlow's glove, but was able to squeak it through the infield. Second time Central Michigan has done that in the ball game, and there's runners on first and second with one away. So Skylar Coberly, who walked her first time, steps in. Coberly on the season. A .248 hitter. Started in every game for Central Michigan this year. Called strike to the second baseman. And their 3-game sweep over the Falcons of Bowling Green. Coberly was a calm 2 for 7. 0-1 bounces in front of the plate. And we're evened up. Miami would love to host the MAC tournament here at Oxford once again. They've won the Mid-American Conference 3 consecutive seasons. 2019, 2021, and 2022. But they face a tall task in the form of Central Michigan. Got to win the series to even be evened up with the Chippewas. A sweep will give them the lead. 2-1. Big hack from Coberly, but she's out in front of the pitch from Pratt. Good off speed from the right-hander. Pratt has been a workhorse for the RedHawks this season. And 282 innings pitched by Miami's pitching staff. Bree Pratt coming in today has thrown 192 innings. And he gets a swinging strikeout for the second out. Sends Coberly packing, and now we'll see Samantha Mills.
Number 3, Central Michigan catcher Samantha Mills.
Mills, a lefty, grounded out to Chloe Parks her first time. Outs at any base for Miami. A base knock could prove to be monumental. As Mills goes down 0-1. 5 hits already in the ball game for Central Michigan. Pratt spins the softball on her right hip, gets the sign from Coyne. She's ready to deal. Antonio Flores didn't like that pitch. Bree Pratt, Riley Coyne sure did. Waited in the on-deck circle, Emily Bracamonte. The 1-1 to the catcher for the Chippewas. Foul tip winds up in Coyne's glove. And now Pratt trying to strike out the side, not the side, but would love to put Mills down. Fouled back, bouncing off the net. They won't do it once again here, 1-2. Pratt entering back in the circle, collected herself after that 1-2 pitch. Really sharp pitch, and a nice job by Samantha Mills, just getting barely a piece of it. 2 on, 2 away, 2 strikes to the catcher from Central Michigan. Check swing. They'll check down the third base line. Yes, she did, says Guy Morrow. 3 strikeouts in the inning for Bree Pratt. And Central Michigan leaves 2 stranded. We head to the bottom half of the third here on Love and Honor Live. Welcome back to Oxford, Ohio. 2-0 our score. Bottom half of the order due up for Miami. It's Adriana Barlow, Maddie Banks. Back to Allie Comans in the top half. I'm Reed Mouse. You're watching Chatterbox Sports. Thank you for tuning in. First of a 3-game series, a doubleheader here on Saturday. Conclusion happening tomorrow at noon. Catch it all right here on Love and Honor Live. Grace Lato been very sharp. He's only allowed 1 base runner, facing off against Dre Barlow, who pops one into shallow center field. Tough play for Central Michigan, but in on the run will be Thom. Thom calling off Springer and Coberly. And there's one away.
The left fielder, number 29, Marty Banks.
Miami got shut out by Ball State in Game 3. And there's one away here from Matty Banks. Called strike to the left-handed swinging Banks. Banks, her hands don't come together on the bat. Split apart. See that? Gives a little bit more control with the stick. 0-2's the count. See that more in softball than you do in baseball. Well, at least anymore. 0-2's the count to Banks. Bounce in front of the plate. Lato with 3 strikeouts already in the ball game. And most have been on challenge pitches. Ripped down the right field line. That's fair. Matty Banks rounding first, heading for second. Tough play out there for Valamont. Banks sliding into third with a triple. That hit the chalk of the right field line. Valamont, who quickly cut it off, actually made a nice play getting to the ball and not letting it go off the wall, but couldn't field it cleanly. Then had to turn around, get back, and by that time, Banks was already cruising into third base. So now we'll see Allie Cummins. Cummins, first pitch swinging, will get the run in as Coberly will go over to Cronin for the second out. 4-3 putouts, but Miami is on the board. It's now 2-1.
Number 5, first baseman, Holly Blaska.
So a nice job by Miami bringing in their first hit of the ball game in the form of Matty Banks. And now we'll see Holly Blaska. Miami went 9 consecutive innings without scoring, dating all the way back to the second game against Ball State. Blaska with 7 home runs on the season. 5th on the team. Now she's 2nd on the team, or 3rd in RBIs. That was RBI number 32 on the season for Allie Cummins. Carly Spade leads the team with 45. To the count to the left-handed swinging Holly Blaska. She stands tall in the box. Awaits from Grace Lato. Missing up and away. Peers into the first base dugout, does Lato. Gets the sign, checks the wristband on her left arm. Here we roll. Hit hard down the third base line as it hits off of Bracamonte. The throw into the infield from Alexander keeps Blaska at first, but it continues the inning as Carly Spade comes up with a runner aboard. Nice swing from Blaska. She blasted it down the third base line. Second time in the inning that Miami has used the entire field. And Miami brings the most dangerous bat in the conference to the plate. 1 on, 2 away, and Carly Spade falls behind. And she gets her money's worth on the first pitch. Hacks away. Alexander out in left field actually had to run over to the warning track down in foul territory to retain her sunglasses in between pitches. As the 0-1, they go back to the heat. Misses the zone entirely. One is a swinging strike. Spade, who grounded out to second base her last time, is behind. Blaska at first. Field playing straight up. And a strikeout for Lato. So Miami scratches back a run. And they bring Carly Spade up to the plate with a runner aboard, but they leave Blaska stranded over at first. We end of the 4th inning. 2-1 our score.
Athletic Fund is the
So Miami gets a run in the bottom half of the 3rd inning thanks to 2 hits. And in the top half of the 4th, 2-1 our score here on Love and Honor Live. 2 up for the Chippewas here in the 4th inning. Emily Bracamonte, Maddie Springer, Lucy Cronin. Bree Pratt, who before last inning didn't have a strikeout, struck out the side. Bracamonte grounded out to Carly Spade the first time she came to the plate. Pratt deals, chopped over to Spade, and just as she did back in the first inning, Bracamonte has a 5-3 put out. This time to start the 4th.
21.
Cruising through this ball game.
Maddie Springer.
First pitch was at 105. 2 outs away from the midpoint. And Maddie Springer steps in. Springer herself grounded out to Spade. As Pratt misses downstairs, count is 1-0. Bouncing in the dirt. Miami, after this series, will travel to Kent State to conclude the regular season. MAC tournament currently slated for May 11th through the 13th. As we said at the top of the broadcast, and probably will mention a few more times throughout the day, this series has major implications on where that is going to be played. So Pratt comes back, count now 2-1. just missing. Flores thought about it. Pratt can't believe she didn't get that call. But she toes the rubber once again, this time with Springer and a hitter's count. Called strike. Wants the count full. Out on the left field wall says graduating champions here. Mantra of Miami. And that's what they've done, honoring the seniors who won't be coming back next year. Adriana Barlow, Riley Coyne, Bree Pratt. Chopped over towards Carly Spade. She fields it cleanly over to Blasco. And Spade's getting her money's worth over there at the hot corner.
Number 2, Chippewa first baseman, Lucy Cronin.
That is Spade's 6th put out of the game. Five have come from the bottom half of the order, as Lucy Cronin steps in with 2 away. Hit well out to Allie Cummins, but right at her. Nice swing by Cronin, jumping on the first pitch from Bree Pratt. And it's a 1-2-3 4th inning. 2-1 our score midway through this ball game out here in Oxford. We'll be right back. Bottom half of the 4th inning, Riley Coyne, Gina Golubeski, Chloe Parks do up for the RedHawks. Chloe Slater back in the circle. She has been sharp. Has allowed 1 run, just 3 base runners rather, scattered across the first 3 innings. We're ready to roll here. Coyne, who went down on strikes her first time, takes the first pitch for a called ball. Mills behind the plate, left-handed catcher. You don't see that a whole lot. See it a little more in softball as opposed to baseball. Never have quite understood why they don't allow left-handed catchers in baseball. The theory is that you can't throw it to third base as well, but I really just can't see that being the case all that matter, as Riley Coyne leaves the yard as she knocks one into the swamp and ties up the game 2-2. A towering home run for Riley Coyne. Her 12th of the season, and this game is tied at 2-2. If you've never been out to the Miami University softball stadium, you want to know that directly behind the outfield wall is a steep drop-off into a swampy pond. And that was undoubtedly a splash hit for Riley Coyne. Whenever we come out here to Oxford and set up for these ball games, we set up that center field camera that you're looking through right now as Jenna Golubeski fouls one back. I always take a gander into that pond, see how many softballs you can see out there, and there's always a couple. Well, just got another ball to add to its collection. As Golubeski quickly falls behind 0-2. Golubeski worked an incredible at-bat her first time around. the count works to 1-2. Golembeski third on the team in walks. Doesn't work counts quite like Allie Cummins or Kate Kobayashi, but ain't afraid to put together a long at bat. And that's mostly because she is able to foul away pretty much any pitch you offer her. Great bat to ball skills. Jams Golembeski, working over to her left, Coberly, and she'll flip it over to Cronin for the first out. So a 4-3 put out. We'll bring up Chloe Parks. She struck out looking her first time.
Number 4, RedHawks second baseman Chloe Parks.
One away for Parks. Home run from Coyne, her 5th in the past week. Parks, weakly hit out to Cronin. That'll be the second out. Yeah, she hit a home run against Akron in Game 2 of that series, then put 2 over the fence in Game 3.
Number 22, designated player.
Followed that up with a home run against Ball State. And that's been Riley Coyne's MO this season. When she hits home runs, they come in bunches. 2 home runs against OU earlier this year, 2 home runs against Western Michigan, all in the same game. Kobayashi steps in, grounded out to the pitcher her first time. Pops one foul, it'll be out of play. Kobayashi, a senior who hails from Kansas City. She'll be back next year. Lato gets the sign, the 0-2. Just missing on the edge. Lato with her right foot on the rubber. Gets a foul tip from Kobayashi. Mills unable to hang on. Almost blew the fastball by her. Just barely got a piece. Oftentimes when you're catching and there's the foul tip that was in and out of your glove, you think, man, if I could have just held on, but there's nothing you could do differently. Can't get too hung up on those foul tips. Regardless, here we go at 1-2. Out to right field, deep. Working back against the warning track will be Valamont, and that'll be the third out. So Kobayashi gets underneath one, but Riley Coyne ties the game up with a solo shot. It's 2-all as we head to the 5th inning. top of the 5th inning, and we got a new ball game. 2-all. Quick recap, Central Michigan plated 2 runs back in the top half of the 1st inning. They started off the game with 3 consecutive base knocks. Since then, Bree Pratt has held them quiet. Miami got a run in the 3rd inning after Maddie Banks' triple was brought home by Allie Cummins. Then Riley Coyne left the yard. First home run of the ball game for Miami. 12th home run of the season for Coyne. It's 2-all. Due up for Central Michigan here in the top half of the 5th inning is the top half of the Chippewas order. And off the end of the bat, Thom will be retired, a 1-3. A very aggressive bunch at the top half of the order. Bree Pratt likes to throw a lot of strikes. Chippewas know that, and they attack the right-handed pitcher. McKaylee Valamont steps in, 1 for 2. She came around and scored back in that 1st inning, that double. Hit off the base of the right field wall. Pratt working the inside, misses the strike zone. It's 1-0. It really does feel like a brand new ball game. Tied up, and Central Michigan had the top half of their order to lead off this 5th inning. Valamont, who struck out swinging her last time, is ahead in the count. Pratt rocks, deals, pops in the infield, working over towards the first base line. Holly Blaska's underneath it. Chloe Parks looked like she might have called off Blaska, but Blaska puts the squeeze on for the 2nd out. So she fell behind, but was able to get Valamont to pop out. Now it's Kelsey Alexander. Alexander, a 2 for 2. Though neither hit was hit all that hard. Just very well placed. She brought home a couple of runs back in the 1st inning when she singled to center field. Then her last trip hit one to the right of Holly Blask over at first base, which elicited a dive from the first baseman. And off the end of her glove, she raced it out to first. And that's her day to this point. She shows the barrel to Pratt. Here we go. Chopped off the front foot of Alexander. Pratt throws it over to first, and they call her out. Neither Antonio Flores nor Brian Haraburda calling a foul ball, but the 3rd base umpire, Guy Morrow, says yes, that was indeed off the front foot of Kelsey Alexander. Don't know how Antonio Flores nor Haraburda saw that. Or I should say didn't see that. Clear as day, and now Kieran Kumar's talking to Flores. I always love when managers and head coaches go out there and talk. I mean, from up here in the press box, that was clear as day off the front foot of Alexander. And like we said, I don't know how Flores nor Haraburda didn't see it. Took Guy Morrow down the 3rd base line to eventually call the play dead. 0-2 this time out to Carly Spade. She's a sure thing over there. And it's a 1-2-3 top half of the 5th inning. The Hawks go to the plate. It's 2-2. Love It on her live here on Chatterbox Sports. I'm Reed Mouse, bottom of the 5th inning, 2-all. Adriana Barlow, Maddie Banks, then back to the top half of the Hawks lineup. Grace Lato in the circle. She has scattered 3 hits across this ball game, one of which was the home run from Riley Coyne just last inning. Barlow flew out to center field her last time. She was first pitch swinging back in her first at-bat. Take it all the way from Lato. Maddie Banks waits in the on-deck circle. She had that triple, and that's been the difference is Central Michigan has 5 hits compared to Miami's 3, but it's been the extra base hits that have elicited the runs for the RedHawks. (2-0). Lato at 55 pitches, so very efficient through the first 4 innings. And she has fallen behind 3-0. You gotta think Barlow's taking all the way. Barlow on the season, a .254 hitter. He's only walked 9 times and 134 plate appearances. Called strike. Red light was on, but now Barlow can swing away. The graduate student from St. Louis, Missouri. 31 hits this year. Trying to get this 5th inning rocking. She takes the 3-1, and the count is now full. So Lato comes back. Have yet to see a swing from Barlow in this at-bat. And the payoff. Swing and strikeout.
Number 29, left fielder,
5th K of the game for Lato. And we'll see Maddie Banks. She came up back in the 3rd inning. We mentioned it. That triple down the right field line. And the Chippewas bullpen. They do have a right-hander getting loose. It's Madeline Wallace. The sophomore. Grace Lato has thrown half of her team's innings this year. Caitlin Bean with 106 innings pitched. Grace Lato, 150 coming into this ball game. And typically, when Lato takes the circle, she finishes the game. She has 24 starts coming into today, and she has 16 complete games. So the 2-0 to Banks. Fouled back. It's been new for Lato to fall behind the hitters. I mentioned that wind. It's quietly blowing out to center field. Shouldn't be much of a factor today, so probably the last time we bring it up. .65 degrees, so warming up a little bit. Two all here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Banks awaits the 2-1. Weakly hit out to Cronin. She'll glove it. Step on first for the 2nd out. And it's back to the top half of the Hawks order.
Miami right fielder, Allie Cummins.
So Allie Cummins steps in. 0 for 2. Trying to get a 2-out rally going. Lato gets the sign, ready to pitch. And for the third consecutive batter, Lato has fallen behind. Struck out Cummins back in the first inning, then Cummins grounded out in the third. Cummins brought in Maddie Banks back in that third inning. Her 32nd RBI of the season. Cummins, slightly open stance, awaits the 2-0 and takes a heck of a hack. Cummins from right down the road, graduate of Lakota West High School over there in Westchester. Her name scattered through the record book here in Miami, and she'll continue to up those numbers as the grad student will come back next year. 2-2 the count. Cummins now 0 for her last 8. Taken for a called ball. And she really does just work a count. Almost 1/3 of the walks this year for Miami have come when Allie Cummins is at the plate. 42, and the team has 155. The payoff pitch. Fouled over, and we'll do it again. Cummins doesn't come up empty when she offers at a ball. Not all that often. She did go down on swing earlier in the ball game. And this rides inside. It's ball 4. So nice at bat from Allie Cummins. We'll put a runner on first base, and Holly Blaska comes to the plate.
Holly Blaska.
Blaska roped one down the third base line. Riley Coyne's home run, Maddie Banks triple, and Blaska's single. The only 3 hits in the ball game for Miami. Cummins out at first base. She has scored 40 times this year. Second on the team, only trailing Carly Spade. Cummins is a perfect 7 for 7 on stolen bases this season. Chopped weakly. Out to second base. Flip over to first. And the bottom half of the 5th comes up with no runs for Miami. We head to the 6th. It's still 2-all. Crunch time here in Oxford. It's 2-all as we head to the final 2 frames. Top of the 6th inning, Central Michigan coming to the plates. Yeah, 4, 5, 6, 2 up. Alyssa Holo. Skylar Cobley and Samantha Mills. You're watching Love It On Live here on Chatterbox Sports. I'm Reed Mouse. If you haven't already, like the stream. Helps it reach more people in the YouTube algorithm. Holo. 1 for 2. First pitch swinging, and a base knock out in the left. For the first time since the first inning, the Chippewas have their leadoff runner aboard.
The second baseman, Skylar Coberly.
So we'll see Skylar Coberly has yet to put a ball in play. There will be a pinch runner out there for Holo. Appears to be number 10, Sierra Alaska. The freshman from Byron Center, Michigan.
Number 10, Sierra Alaska.
So Alaska's out at first. And we'll see if Coberly lays down the bunt. Alaska and Spade, the corner infielders, coming in to make the play. Coberly shows bunt, pulls it back. Coyne thinks about throwing it down to first base. Chloe Parks playing the first base bag as Alaska's coming in to make the play. Coberly has sacrificed herself twice this season. Tries at the 1-0, gets a piece of it. Antonio Flores checking on Riley Coyne as after the ricochet, rode in on Coyne. So 1-1's the count. Yeah, since the first inning, Pratt has just allowed 2 base runners before that base hit from Holo. Chopped over towards Carly Spade, but foul. 1-2's the count. The 1-2. Bounces in front of the plate. Coberly taking all the way. Count now evened up at 2-all. Alaska over at first base. She's appeared in 23 games this season. Has scored 10 times. She's only tried to take off once. She was unsuccessful. But Pratt comes up with a strikeout. Big first outs. Central Michigan trying to sacrifice themselves, trying to get a runner in scoring position, and they come up empty. So now we'll see Samantha Mills. And Pratt would love to roll up a double play. That's the pitch she's had working all game. There's the ground ball pitch. Foul tipped, brings the count to 0-1. For the first 16 outs, Pratt has gotten 10 ground balls. Ten ground balls, 4 strikeouts. Central Michigan has only popped the ball up twice in the ballgame. Missing on the outside. Nice challenge pitch from Pratt. Rocks, deals. Swing and strike, chased out of the zone, Mills did. So we talked about how Lato in 24 starts this year has completed 16 ball games. Brianna Pratt has started 32 games this year. She has completed 23 of them. 5 outs from doing that here in the first game of this 3-game series. Pratt rocks, deals, back-to-back punch-outs. After giving up the leadoff base runner,
third baseman, Emily
back-to-back Ks. Has put a 2 on the outs on the scoreboard. And we'll see Emily Bracamonte. There will be a pinch hitter for Bracamonte. And it looks like it's going to be number 13, Caitlin Britton. Britton, a junior, utility player from Lake Villa, Illinois. On the season, pulling up her stats as we speak. Britton, a 170 hitter. Has 8 hits and 47 at-bats. 7 RBIs. Of her 8 hits, 2 of which are extra base. A double and a home run on the ledger.
Coming in to bat for Bracamonte is number 13, Caitlin Britton.
Britton hasn't had a hit since March 12th. She's 0 for her last 17. She has pinched hits. And now 8 consecutive appearances. And she takes the first pitch for a called strike. Coming off the bench and being asked to come up in a big way is such a tough thing to call upon. But that's what they're doing with Caitlin Britton here. The 0-1 hit weakly out to Holly Blaska. She does the splits out there down the first base line and steps on the bag. So after the leadoff single, Pratt retires 2 consecutive on strikeouts, then gets the pitch hitter Britton to ground outs. We head to the bottom half of the 6th inning. Still 2s on the board. Bottom of the 6th inning. 2-all here in Oxford. Hosting rights for the MAC tournament. On the line, it's game 1 of the 3-game series. 2 up for Miami here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Carly Spade, Riley Coyne, Jenna Golembeski. Spade 0 for 2. Facing off against Grace Leto. No one you'd rather have up in this situation if you're Coach Kumar. Spade now 0-2. She leads the team in hitting, hits, tied for the team in home runs, and leads the team in RBIs and runs scored. She fouls another back. She has struck out 38 times this season. And Leto's ahead in the count. The 0-2. Taken from Lado, or taken from Spade. Spade hit 2 home runs here in Oxford last weekend against Akron. Had a 2 RBI game, and game 2 against Ball State. Would love to leave the yard here. Called strike 3. Freezes Carlise Spade at the top of the zone. And the first out here in the bottom half of the 6th inning.
Riley Coyne.
And we'll see Riley Coyne. Won't have to draw back in the memory bank to remember what Coyne did her last trip, as she hit a towering home run to tie the game up at 2. Coyne stands tall. Takes the first pitch on the outside. Coyne with her batting average north of 300. Has been hot as of late. Out to left center field. That'll get down. Didn't find the barrel, but was strong enough to send it out to left field. And that's a 1-out single for the RedHawks. And it looks like Karen Kumar will go to a pinch runner to run for her catcher, Riley Coyne. See who they call upon. Logan Mueller.
For the RedHawks, coming in to stand at first base, number 11, Logan Mueller.
So Mueller comes in to run for Riley Coyne, getting a little more speed on the paths in case Golembeski puts one in the gap. She certainly has that ability. Now, typically when she finds the barrel, it exits the yard. 18 extra base hits this season for Golembeski, 13 of which are home runs. The first pitch from Lado. Hit well out to left center field, and that is back-to-back singles for Miami. First pitch swinging. And there's runners on first and second, and Chloe Parks steps into the batter's box. Chloe Parks with 17 RBIs this year.
Chloe Parks.
Every time she steps up in a pressure situation, I'm recalled back to the Toledo series. Back at the end of March, they put her in the middle of the order, and she came up big. 5 RBIs, including 3 on one swing from a bases-clearing triple. So there will be a meeting out in the circle for the Chippewas. Miami would love to get a run here, take the lead, that shut the door in the top half of the 7th. Parks steps in. She's 0 for 2. Batting .295 on the season. A sophomore from Indianapolis. She has struck out looking and has grounded out to Cronin, the first baseman. Waiting in the on-deck circle is Kate Kobayashi. So the corners will come in against the slap-hitting Chloe Parks. First pitch swinging, and Lado gets ahead in the count as it's a foul ball over the grandstand here at the softball stadium. Parks out to left field, down the left field line. A great play by Kelsey Alexander. A game-saving play by the left fielder. Parks sent it for a ride down the left field line. Alexander moving to her right, reaches up and makes the snag. Wow.
Player, Kate Kobayashi.
That would have been 2 runs for Miami if it had fallen. Instead, it's the second out. So now we'll see Kate Kobayashi. First pitch on a line, it goes underneath the glove of Koberly. 1 run will score, rounding third, headed for home is Golombeski. 4-2, Miami takes the lead. Kobayashi hits one on the screws right out to the second baseman. It tips underneath her glove. And Miami, for the first time in the ball game, has the lead. So a 2 RBI double for Kobayashi. And hitting for Adriana Barlow will be Maggie Murphy. RBIs number 10 and 11 for Kobayashi on the season.
For the RedHawks, hitting for Adriana Barlow is number 19, Maggie Murphy.
Her first RBIs since March 18th. Been nearly 6 weeks since Kate Kobayashi drove in a couple of runs, and she did it in the biggest moment of this ball game. So now Maggie Murphy will come off the bench and take the first pitch from Grace Lato. Murphy, a .238 hitter. And 15 hits this season. She has 10 extra base hits, including 4 home runs. Popped. Tough play for the center fielder, Thom, but she'll come underneath it for the third and final out. But Miami takes the lead. The RBI double from Kate Kobayashi gives Miami a 4-2 lead. Now Brianna Pratt will come in to close the door here on Love and Honor Live. It all comes down to this, top half of the 7th inning. Miami with a 2-run lead, and Bree Pratt looking to finish what she started. She gave up 2 runs before getting 1 out in the first inning. She has not given up a run since. Miami has scrapped back to take the lead here in the first game of this series. 8-9-1 due up for Central Michigan. And it'll be Taylon Knapp pinch hitting in spot of Maddie Springer. Pratt has just allowed 3 base runners since the first inning. on the season, a 182 hitter. Fouls one. She's a junior from Vicksburg, Michigan. Been a pinch hit specialist for Central Michigan this year. Over to Holly Blaska. Going to be a race to first, and Blaska wins. So Knapp does a nice job at moving Blaska off the line, but can't beat her out to the bag.
Lucy Cronin.
So now we'll see Lucy Cronin. Lucy 0 for 2. Lined out to right field her last trip. Pratt rocks, deals, misses the zone. Cronin out to Dre Barlow. She fields it cleanly, throws it across the diamond for the second out. 1 out away from securing the win here in game 1.
Number 7, Abby Tolney.
Back in the first inning with single, double, single. Central Michigan took a 2-0 lead, and since then, nothing but zeros from Bree Pratt in the circle. But we head back to the top half of the order, as Tolney will step in for the 4th time today. She takes the first pitch for a called strike. Tolney 1 for 3. A single, a pop-up in the infield, and a ground out. Misses up. This game got started at 1:05. So been a quick ball game thus far. Pratt rocks, deals, called strike, pulls the string, freezes Tolney. And 1 strike away from the win. Pratt gets the sign from Coyne. Starts her motion. Grounded up the middle, that's a base hit. So the tying run will come to the plates. Just beyond the outreach glove of Adriana Barlow. See McKaylee Valamont. Valamont pulling off the right field wall back in the first inning. She's 1 for 3. Since then has struck out and has popped out. Valamont leads the team in hitting, and she's first pitch swinging. Down the right field line, this will be foul on the chase as Allie Cummins, but she won't get there in time. Tough play out there. Cummins had to come a long ways. Surprised we didn't see Kobayashi enter the field, as we've seen them shift around the defensive alignment, moving Golombeski to right field and Kobayashi patrolling center, but they keep Cummins out and right. Valamont, as we mentioned, a .396 hitter coming into this ball game. Called strike 2. And once again, the Chippewas down to their final strike. Valamont chokes up on the bat slightly. Pratt gets the sign. Valamont moves up in the box. Taken for ball 1. Tying run at the plate, Valamont with 5 home runs this season. She hit one just last week against Buffalo. 2-2. Pratt has allowed 14 home runs this year in 198 innings. Work the count to 2-2. Valamont awaits the offering from Pratt. And she rides high once again. So here's the payoff pitch. A ball puts the tying run aboard for the 3-hole in the Chippewas lineup. A strike gives Miami the win. Thom out at first. She'll be moving with the pitch. Hit out to left field, but right at Maddie Banks. A line out. And Bree Pratt goes the distance. She gets the win. Miami takes game 1. Central Michigan took 2 runs in the top half of the first inning. Miami plated 1 in the third. A home run from Riley Coyne in the 4th tied it up. And then Kate Kobayashi brought 2 home in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Brianna Pratt with the win. And Lato will be tagged with the loss. With that win, Miami tied for first place in the Mid-American Conference. Game 2 will be in about a half an hour. Be sure to check back in. But for game 1, Miami wins 4-2. I'm Reed Mouse. Producer of this game was Casey McAllister. We thank you for tuning in. We'll see you in a bit here on Love and Honor Live.